Hello, my name is Dr. Bennett Annan. I'm the President and CEO of the Institute of African Leadership in California. I have good news for you, and I want you to listen, please. Several years ago, when I was a teenager growing up in Ghana, I watched various politicians talk about policies that they believed will help alleviate poverty in Ghana. Yet when they came to power, nothing really good happened to its people. I wondered why. During that period of time, I also read in several newspapers many times how poor Africans were and how leaders have mismanaged the country's resources. But these are very intelligent people. So my question has been why? In 2007, I conducted my very first research study in America entitled West African Managers in American Businesses. Pretty much, I was trying to figure out how West African managers in American businesses, how they do, how they fare. And during that research, I set up actually six research sites for this project. New York was one of them, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, North Carolina, California, and then Denver, Colorado. I went to these locations and did individual interviews as well as focus group interviews. And oh boy, I realized how intelligent these people were. I mean, the Africans, the West Africans who were managers, and how they have assimilated into the American system, practicing participative leadership styles, and have been very successful as managerial leaders in many of these organizations in corporate America. Then I asked myself, why can't managerial leaders in Africa do the same? Because we are capable. And the answer was not far-fetched. The environment in Africa needs to change. And that prompted me to delve into this research of African leadership styles to find out the gap between our managerial styles in Africa and that of the industrialized nations. And I used the Path-Goal Leadership Questionnaire. It's a set of 25 questions, I believe. I collected data from the Africans from various countries, from various platforms, countries including Ghana, Uganda, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Zimbabwe, and others, using several Gizmo. I then analyzed the data, and I'll tell you in a minute what my findings were. And then one thing I would like to also talk about is, for several years, I've been thinking, why someone won't do something about this? Why won't someone figure out why we are the richest continent in the world and yet the poorest? Why won't someone sit down and figure this out? I've been told so many excuses and so many reasons why this cannot be done, but I still didn't give up finding some solution to this problem. Just like Albert Einstein said, we cannot do the same thing over and over and over again and expect different results. Meaning for us in Africa, we cannot keep on mismanaging our resources and then seek help from industrialized nations in terms of loans and not being able to pay their loans and ask for forgiveness again and again and thinking that things will get better. Albert Einstein said, this cannot be possible. In fact, he said that's the definition of insanity. Now, based on this research, we at the Institute of African Leadership, we have started something, at least something low, to stop the failed leadership problem because I believe something low is better than a whole lot of nothing. That is why we delved into the research to find out what managerial leaders in Africa should do to catch up with the industrialized nations. And the answer was very simple. The findings of my research showed that the only thing that industrialized nations do and that we don't do is they use the participative leadership style most often, and we use the same participative leadership style the least. That means all we need to do is practice this participative leadership style of management more often. Very simple, isn't it? But yet there's a lot to get into it. My findings also found out that this participative leadership style is not new to African managerial leaders. In fact, my research shows that we practice participative leadership style more than our counterparts in the industrialized nations, but we do this the least. That means it does not come to us easily. If African managerial leaders can use the participative style more often as their counterparts do in the industrialized nations, it will improve the effectiveness of African managerial leaders, I believe. Subsequently, I believe it will decrease poverty, increase standard of living, and change the way Africans think, both at the institutional and personal level. But it's important that we don't just import the participative leadership style and just dump it on the African managerial leaders. No, that will not work. What we have to do, and the Institute of African Leadership in California has come up with an African participative leadership training program, which takes the participative style as it is, intertwined with the African culture, just like the Japanese did not too long ago, and other Southeast Asian countries have done. I believe Singapore did the same thing too. We will see success, but it has to be deep rooted in the African culture. We offer this training program at the Institute of African Leadership in California. I believe that for Africa to advance, it must evolve in its own managerial leadership philosophy, one that is rooted in the African culture. I founded the Institute of African Leadership in 2003 to provide flexible professional training services to the African managerial leaders. The intent of the Institute is to keep conducting research studies to find more and more reasons why leadership has failed tremendously in Africa and incorporate that into its training curriculum with a goal to help the managerial leaders in Africa make that change from autocratic, directive leadership style to the participative one. And by the way, this change is also necessary to help Africa compete in this global world and in particular, alleviate poverty in the continent. I have a book coming out by May 2021 entitled Light Leadership, Theory and Practice. I wish you could get one when it comes out. Thank you for listening and God bless us all. Bye for now.